Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast with another episode brought to you by me, Deniz and Gianna.
Peace, what's up? Today we talk about a very special topic that's very dear to our hearts. We actually, when we talked or thought about this podcast / channel, we came up with one specific topic, and we were talking about one specific topic, and that's why we are here today and forever will be on this platform called YouTube. Cults!
Yeah, to talk about cults.
Cults.
Very creepy. The most creepy groups of people, maybe.
Well, it's not. They're not creepy. I mean, they all have a goal. They all have things they want to share in the world. They all have intentions, very serious intentions. But some are...
questionable.
No, just like as crazy as people.
Yes.
Like complete crazy, actually, to be fair. But actually, we won't talk about like very famous cults today. For example, Scientology. I mean, you can make actually like a whole video about Scientology, about L.Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, and one of the most fanatic science fiction authors the world has ever faced.
Science fiction author.
Yeah, he was the
best.
Yeah, whatever. But we won't talk about Scientology or L.Ron Hubbard or Children of God, for example. We talk about very like
small scale
cults in comparison to maybe Scientology.
I mean,
Children of God.
Maybe they are known. Maybe people know about those, but like you don't hear them talked about as much as the big.
Yeah, you don't hear often about such about those calls. We won't actually talk
like
about
if you Google it, you'll definitely find them because there's a whole lot of information on the internet. Thank God.
Yes, and when you actually super into cults, then you actually find out about them. Or when you're interested in it, and then you Google, or you watch Netflix documentaries about cults.
Or that,
then you find out. When you give in when you Google for example cults, or when you give in in Netflix in the search bar like cults, then
there's a lot of information.
And documentaries about it.
Yeah, it's just that people don't talk about it as much as Scientology. I feel like I know everything about Scientology now, even though I never meant to know everything.
Yes, of course. And when you want to know more about Scientology, then watch a great documentary on Netflix or Leah Remini's.
Definitely
Leah Remini.
Yes.
Docu-series about
I didn't even know the second season was out until you told me.
It's really good.
I watched it in one sitting.
Really good. Better than King of Queens, trust me.
Oh, that was mean.
Yeah. The whole premise actually of this video is she selected 2 cults.
Yes.
You want to talk about 2 cults.
Exactly.
And I thought about choosing 2 cults, but I just have one. I mean, I wanted to talk about the family. It's an Australian cult. I don't know if it's actually still active. The Australian New Age group. But they call themselves the family. But I skipped that. I was like, no, that's too much, probably.
I will just see.
Yeah, that's a documentary about the family. A very good documentary, actually, about the children. Because the family, the family has no children.
Yeah.
So the former children or the group members actually speaking out about the whole cult. Actually, it's very, very fun. I would say it's very, very fun to watch. It's disturbing, but it's also very disturbing, interesting, of course. But I don't want to talk about this today.
Okay,
talk about something else.
Well, then I'll start with my first cult that I want to talk about.
And I have no idea, to be fair.
I didn't tell Gianna.
Yeah.
I asked her which cults she picked, and she just told me the name, and I just wanted them to know them because I didn't want to pick them.
Yes,
you know.
Of course.
So I tried to not read anything about it.
We wanted to surprise each other.
So I'm like,
surprise,
haha.
Cut.
Because it's so funny, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
it can be, but also it can be horrible.
The thing is, a cult, like a person, for example, a cult leader. It's so weird. Cult leaders are very interesting people.
Of course they are.
They're very interesting personas. But there's a pattern. A cult always has.
Maybe we can establish that at the end, what the pattern is.
Maybe. I Google it. I could. No, but the thing is, cult has patterns.
Yes.
And it's very similar. Each cult actually has similar patterns to it. But wait.
Well, we gotta win people over somehow, and I'll show you how it happened for the cult called Kashi Ashram. Never heard of it. Like, me too. I like looked it up. I was like, the hell?
It's probably a Butterfield sort of.
You'll see. You'll see. There was this lady from Brooklyn in America, and she was a housewife. I guess. I think. I don't know. That's what the internet told me.
Oh my god! I think I heard about it.
Wait. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Maybe you can add something.
No, I'll shut up.
Stuff that I forgot.
I shut up.
So. That lady, I'm sure she had an American name, but she definitely changed it to Majaya. And then it goes on like Sati and something else, like really odd name, odd combination.
No, very like ethnical name.
Yes, but then we'll understand why in a bit. Okay. So she was the founder of the community Kashi Ashram in the 70s. Like, it's been quite a while, honestly.
40 years, honestly.
Yes, and they were mixing the beliefs, like they believed in Jesus, but they also believed in Hindu deities, so it was kind of like mixed. And this woman even said that she had visions of Jesus and other deities, like visiting her and giving her like, you know, like information and stuff that she has to carry out and stuff. So like she saw herself as some sort of prophet. Definitely.
A messiah. No, a prophet, okay. Because,
prophet,
for
messiah,
example, like David Koresh, he saw himself as a messiah.
The group was established upon like kindness, compassion, like it all makes sense. It all sounds very positive. It all sounds very reassuring. And like it, I suppose it started out nice because they all played on harmony. And but at some point, I guess like short after she founded the group, short after she had a following, she started to say that the guru, which is herself, was above the god. So she started to act that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
A turning point, like when people getting batshit crazy and then, okay.
She wasn't like putting out the information and the messages that she got. She was...
Of God, by God. So she said...
Exactly.
She said probably like, actually I saw it in my dreams.
I had visions. Jesus came to me, like
this is
stuff
law,
like that.
and this is common law in this community now.
Yes. But like it escalated pretty quick from there. Like really.
That escalated quickly.
Like seriously. So I even have like a quote from an article that I read, and it's like I wanted to read out the quote because it's like too much to describe myself, you know? It's like it's like way too much to describe because it's so horrible. So the quote says, according to an investigation in the Miami New Times, dozens of former Kashi residents accused Ma Jaya and the movement of physical abuse, psychological control, kidnapping, and sexual assault. These mostly included beatings, either performed by Ma Jaya herself, the leader, or ordering someone else to do it. At some point, she reportedly punished a boy whom a member had molested by beating him and then painting his penis black and making him parade around the grounds of the compound.
Oh, they're also racist.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like they're shaming a little boy for being molested.
Yeah, and they're also being racist. Highly racist.
I don't know, like he was supposed to paint his penis black and then go out.
That's super racist.
That's so odd.
Super racist.
Yeah.
Because it reflects like, it brings in another ethnicity. And like, maybe like a punishment that
black is bad.
For example.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
straight up racist.
Yeah. It's so weird. Oh my god. And
it's super racist.
Like already from that quote, you can tell that Ma Jaya, this lady, this leader, she was really obsessed with children.
Is she dead now?
I don't know that.
Who cares? Go on.
I really don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but for example, like in the family, like the cult. I'm not talking about today, but I'm talking about now. Like this Australian cult.
Yes.
Family. Yeah. Like the girl or the woman, actually, the leader, because she was a leader. I've written down her name. Anne Hamilton Barnes, she was a yoga teacher, for example. But
yoga teacher? What's up with all these yoga people making their
cults?
But
she was like totally obsessed with the children. I don't know, I'm not sure if she actually like wasn't able to get children.
Ma Jaya
for example, but
the
point is like, the point I want to talk about is that she actually convinced the members to give up their children so she can adopt them to create a whole new family.
Oh
under
my god,
under
oh my
her
god. Look,
dynasty,
like,
or whatever.
Ma
Look it
Jaya
up, it's
did
great.
exactly the same, because she went so far that members of her cult had to ask her for permission if they could have children first. Like, hey Ma Jaya, can we have children, yes
But that's
or no?
usual, that's actually common. That's very common
But
actually.
then also, when they were allowed to have babies, they had to give their children away for training. Like, Ma Jaya kept the children, and then for training, whatever that is supposed to mean, you know?
Maybe, for example, at the
Conditioning.
they actually put the children into like camps,
Yes.
training camps where they can actually like combat fighting and such.
I don't know if it's that or if it's like brainwashing them into staying, you know? We don't know what the training is, but it could be either what you said or it could be that brainwashing, or actually both together.
I would say both.
Probably both. But anyway, like, one of the other horrible things that Ma Jaya did was forcing her 14-year-old daughter to first marry an adult, and then getting her raped by that man, and then checking if she was pregnant. Like, it was all about babies, 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 babies.
Yeah.
Probably to make the cult bigger, to make the group bigger.
If she's on a period, she can conceive children. That's
So
like
scary.
common ground. That's like a common pattern actually.
Yes.
It's horrible. But I think like most cults actually like created in the 70s, 1970s, actually do have those patterns. And
Yes.
people actually, or like the cult leaders, especially when they have children, they actually say, hey, you're my daughter, my flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have some babies with this 14 or 15-year-old man because I say so, or because God says so.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. I think that's actually when like children are
Yes.
included. For example, in Scientology, when or Jehovah's Witnesses, I consider Jehovah's Witnesses actually as a call as well.
They came to my door once.
Yeah, they always come to my door, and I was like,
So scary. Go away.
yeah, exactly. But who cares? Fashion choices, very horrible fashion choices, but whatever. And like they're always like when you're born into a cult. I mean,
Yes.
that's the thing. Like you grow up in this community
Yeah.
with those patterns. I think it's very, very hard actually to break.
Of course,
Yes.
because that's like normal for you
Yeah,
if you
like
grow up
this.
in there.
There's barriers,
Yes.
boundaries, yeah.
Yes,
So when you
yes.
do it, of course, for example, I mean, you can call me out on that, but I think that Amish people actually have like culty patterns as well, structures.
They can
Yeah.
definitely, yes.
The thing
yes.
is, like some cults, or most cults, for example, by David Koresh or Scientology, they're always like most of cults, or Jehovah's Witnesses, and even the Amish at some point. They're all like justifying their shit
Yeah.
with religion. And that's really, really critical. And that's why we don't want to talk about Scientology today, because religion, to discuss religion, it's so long. It's very long, and it takes
Yeah.
a while, and getting hard-heated.
Well, all we
sometimes.
can say to that is really like, it's a great tool to manipulate people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always been.
It always has been, that's
Whatever,
true. Like,
yeah.
even if in our own history, the history of the world,
Yeah.
like the most dirty tool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah. And no, I mean, I'm agnostic, so I don't particularly believe in God,
Yeah.
but I respect religion.
yeah. I mean, why not?
Religions,
Objectively
in general.
seen,
Yeah.
why
Like
not?
when you don't believe in God, but you believe in a pen that maybe talked to you in your dreams, and then from now on you believe in it, I'm gonna believe you because you say that's my religion. You
As
know?
long as nobody is getting hurt, what can you say or do?
Yeah,
But when people get hurt, that's too serious.
and that's very common cause.
That's very common. Yeah, like it makes you really wonder, like, why do they still exist if we have a government that could take care of it?
Yeah.
Potentially. Anyway, I looked up if Ma Jaya died, and she died in 2012. I don't know how.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, just a couple. Yeah, she lived a long life. And I read somewhere that even Julia Roberts liked her.
Tweets.
Not tweets. Like she liked the group. She liked how she was thinking, I suppose. Like, it was apparently popular in the 90s.
Could be.
Probably before all the dirt came out.
Yeah.
You know, all the dirt on the practices, all the dirt on Ma Jaya and what she did to children and even adults.
Okay.
That's really sad. But that's all I've got for Kashi Ashram and would you like to go on
Stage
with
of
yours?
Nine.
Yeah. What did you pick?
So I actually picked the Buddhafield, Los Angeles Buddhafield community. Buddhafield,
Okay.
Buddhafield community or Buddhafield cult, if you want to call it that way. I want to call it the Buddhafield cult. I actually found out. Yeah, I actually found out about the cult last year when I was in my highest peak of Scientology obsession ever. Seriously, yeah, because then I put in like cult into the Netflix search bar and then like Holy Hell came up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard about it and I've seen it before, but I never really clicked on it. I didn't give a flying fuck. But
Happens.
yeah, it happens. Shit
Yeah.
happens. But then I was like, okay, Holy Hell, I've seen it often enough. Like, okay, let's watch the documentary. And I was very like instantly hooked.
Yes.
Instantly hooked because it was so fascinating. And when you do have a Netflix account, please check this documentary out because it's really, really good. The Holy Hell is about, as I said, the Buddhafield cult. The film is actually written, directed by Will Allen, a former cult member.
Oh, he was.
He was one of the was the oldest. No,
Like high rank?
no, he wasn't high rank. There was actually not a very like a hierarchy.
But he
But a member for a very long time.
Okay.
For 22 years or 23 years.
That's
actually.
crazy.
That's very, very long. I mean,
That's
the
a
thing
super
is,
long time.
it's super long because he actually didn't grow up. He didn't grow up like as a child in this particular cult. He came in when he was like 22 as an adult.
Oh, okay.
And I think his story actually is very fascinating because Will Allen, he is openly gay now, but he came out like to his parents when he was like 21, 22, and then they were like, sorry, brah.
Rather not.
Rather not, you know?
Yeah.
But so he felt, because he came out of college, you know,
I understand.
he felt defeated, he felt like shit, and then he found out about the Buddhafield cult.
And
The
then?
Buddhafield cult is actually, a society of like-minded people who want to achieve a happy life, who want to achieve something bigger in life. It's very about like yoga, to find your inner peace, chakra, namaste, whatsoever. It's really all about that, you know.
Like all this harmony shit.
It's very harmony shit, yeah. So he found it and he actually became a member of the group. And he became a part of the group actually for, as I said, for 22 or 23 years. The Buddhafield cult still exists actually to this day.
It does?
Not in such a huge and big amount or extent, but it still exists. It was actually found by a Spanish dude called Jaime Gomez, but he actually called himself Michel Rostand. But later on he called himself Andreas because the government was very close behind them. They were chasing them and then he was
okay.
he was chasing them and they're like,
He was trying
call me
change
Andreas.
his identity.
Yeah, call me
and
Andreas
stuff.
from now on. This name in an American society is very common.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Andreas. Whatever. Well, Alan, he actually left in 2007 and he has so much footage that he actually could do a documentary because he was the director and actually the cameraman who all recorded everything because he actually studied film in college and then he once said I do have a college degree in film, I do have a camera, let's put it on film. And so he became
he was documenting everything, the glory of the
actually
group.
and Michel, aka Jaime, aka Andreas, wanted it to be. He wanted him to actually document.
That makes sense, though.
Everything, not just him, of course, operating, but of course the members and the happy life. And it's very when you watch the documentary. Will Allen only doesn't show the footage, but he also interviewed
other people,
other cult members,
Oh, really?
other former cult members. He knows personally, not just his friends, female or male, but also his sisters, too, because of his sisters. They were actually members of the cult as well.
How big was this cult?
A couple hundred, actually.
That's quite a lot.
It really is. It was a lot. The thing is, first it was a very happy structure. And the documentary, they're all saying that it was very freeing, they were all very beautiful people. Very beautiful people. They could be supermodels. They could be modeling actually. Like, and the thing is, like Jaime, Michelle, Andreas, he didn't actually like fat people. Period.
Oh my gosh.
Because he surrounded himself with beautiful people, he could easily manipulate. And he manipulated those people, especially men, to one extent that he actually abused certain men within the cult.
That he had a liking to? Or
Yeah, of course, because he was gay.
God. Oh, yeah, right.
Of course he was gay. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
like Michelle, Jaime, or Andreas, he wasn't just nice. Because he considered himself as a guru, of course.
Yes.
But then, like, when the years have passed, they
Yeah.
found actually about, they Googled him, and Google was, like, very, like, common. They Googled him. And they found out that he was actually, like, I would say a falling actor in Los Angeles.
Oh, no.
He actually had a past in pornography. He was a gay porn star.
And they found out about
Yeah, they
that?
found out about it.
The members?
The members, some of them. I mean, some who were
Yeah.
like there from the beginning, they're still in this cult today. But most people were left. But most of them left,
Yeah.
and then it actually made sense.
So-
Especially like the abuse towards specific male members.
So, like, rape?
Like, like Will Allen, for example. Like the filmmaker who
Mm-hmm.
did this documentary. He was actually one of those guys.
Oh, that's
Because-
so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad, and I would say very disturbing.
Sure. Yeah.
But when you found out more about Jaime, Gomez, Andreas,
Michelle.
Michelle, then you actually like understand like why he did it,
But
or why he's doing it. Because he's a fallen actor. He came from Spain to fucking America, wanted to be a famous actor. And it didn't work out, and then he was like, okay, then I start a Butterfield cult, or I start a yoga.
Oh, that's such
session.
a huge ego.
Yeah, it's very ego.
Yeah.
It's very ego. So he actually like picked out people he could manipulate very easily. It was like counter psychology, or the hyper psychology actually, and because he actually offered therapy sessions, and of course his members are like, yeah, we come in, we pay our $50. And then
He got a lot of insight.
he got a lot of insight. It's like hyper psychology, so it's very like working with the traumas.
Yeah,
he
it's
worked
like
with the
even
traumas, and
easier
then he-
for him to
Yeah,
manipulate
yes, of
them.
course.
Oh, that's
Yes,
crazy.
of course, and he used it for his own advantages.
Yes.
Yeah, but at one particular point, actually, because there's I don't know how it's called in America, but there's like an operating of the government that actually investigates cults, and then they put them on an agenda, and they name them actually as cults, so they categorize them as cults.
Really?
And they were like, yeah, and it was like the time when David Koresh and his cult, when the government had them actually on the agenda, you know, they were kind of scared because it all happened at the time when Waco happened with the David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. It was like
Yes.
called. Have you heard of it? There's a very great documentary called Madman in
I haven't
Back
seen
when
that.
living in Waco, and he actually made a song about himself. It was like the Branch Davidians. It was a cult of led by David Koresh. Essentially, he was a loser as well. A loser in life, but then he told himself, "Oh, I'm the new Messiah," and then he actually like collected people like dolls, and he used them as dolls. He played with them, and then there was like a shootout, like gun shooting, and then they
Yeah.
actually like because they lived in a farm,
Yes.
on a farm and in a farmhouse.
Yes.
And that essentially, I guess, most cult members, maybe 2 or 1 survived, but most of them died in a fire.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And so, of course, like the Butterfield cult members, and also Andreas, Jaime,
Michelle.
he was very, very scared. He was
Yes,
scared. So he
yes, I
like,
can understand.
in the middle of the night, he was like, okay, you, and you, pack your bags. We're going to somewhere else. So they actually moved from Miami, first like from Los Angeles, then Miami. They moved to Texas.
They were on the move.
Yeah, they were completely on the move.
Okay.
So they actually like built a new house, like not just one house, like a huge estate. They bought an estate,
Damn.
bought a huge estate, built on a huge estate, and then they actually like brought the other members. They were staying like Miami or Los Angeles to Texas, so they can live a fulfilled and peaceful life.
Sure.
Forever.
Peaceful, yeah.
But the thing is, like, they were actually essentially like the members who were actually close to Michelle. They were essentially his slaves. That's the thing, is because they had to do something called service. and service. And in the documentary, everyone is actually talking about it. Service is like everyone is helping everyone. Like they're helping each other, or that they helped each other very essentially. When you, for example, when you need something to be built, then another guy chips in and is like, I can do that, so I can help, so I will help you. The other people, like, they are cooking, they are cleaning, they are doing this, they are doing this, they are doing that. But of course, people, there were close people that surrounded Michel, and they were like fucking his handmaidens. He was like, there was someone who gave him a massage, there was someone who cleaned his car, there was someone who actually like carried his chair.
I'm not even surprised.
I'm not surprised.
No.
But the thing is, like, some cults, for example, David Koresh, or other religious leaders in particular, they've been like, we all are equal, but it's like Animal Farm, you know, George Orwell, like, we all are equal, but some of us are more equal. Period. You know, but actually Michel, he was crazy. He was actually crazy because he was like, he put himself on a pedestal, on a very, very highly pedestal. And it ended in rape and in abuse, period. And then, of course, people, or the cult members, they were like, okay, something is very off. And then everything actually got together. When they found out that he was an ex-gay porn star, when he was a failed or like an actor, then it actually made sense so much. And then people left. And I think like this is super, super simple and super typical thing actually for a cult. Because people think like that you have to have so much power or money to actually have a cult, to create a cult. It's actually not true. No. You just have to surround yourself with, I would say, mentally or even physically, weak people. Yeah. You have to give them a message. You have to give them like a mission in life.
Exactly.
You have to give them hold. You have to give them like something to hold on. Support, for example. You can say, I support you. I will help you. You can rely on me.
Yes,
and
yes.
Boom!
That's what a lot of people want in life.
Yes, and on Friday we have pizza.
Yes. But like that's the method. Like you don't have to be.
It's a method.
You're so right. You don't have to be powerful. You don't have to have money. You have to know which buttons to push.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's really all it takes. You have to push the right buttons. You have to
be convincing. You have to be
so convincing. And it's like sometimes it's easy too. You just tell the people what they want to hear.
I can be a cult leader if I want to.
I mean, theoretically, yes.
You don't believe me.
You should.
Don't you? But the thing is, like, everyone, I think everyone could actually like become.
Yes.
A colleague. I mean, come on, L.Ron Hubbard.
Look, he was a loser too. He was a failed author, just like you said.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I don't want to compare him to Hitler because he was a failed artist.
You can, whatever.
No, I won't do that. I mean, he was a failed science fiction author.
He was a first?
Failed.
Oh, God, okay, failed.
He wasn't the first science fiction author. That's definitely not.
It just confused me, yeah. He was a failed author, yeah. I'd say let's go on with the next cult that I have prepared. It's called...
Number 3.
Yeah, number 3. The Anthill Kids. Have you ever heard?
The word? Anti?
No, it's ant, like the insect. Ant.
Ah, the ant.
Hill.
Anthill. Like an anthill.
Exactly, and the kids. Anthill Kids. That's what they called themselves. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I feel like I've heard of it, but when I read up on it, I was like, I never knew.
Did they create their own cult?
Yes, I never knew. I heard the name
sounds like Stray Kids, like, hey guys, we're Stray Kids, but let's rename ourselves and be a cult.
I mean, it sounds like it, but I assure you, it's much...
It sounds like Breakfast Club, something like this.
Oh yeah.
It could be like a straight up teenage rom-com coming-of-age movie from the 1980s.
I mean, it's funny, but also it's like to cry for because it's so much more horrible than that.
It's not like 16 Candles.
It's so horrible.
It's not Ferris Bueller.
You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean now.
Okay.
God, I wish it was like a Breakfast Kids because then it would be like very funny and cute and stuff, but it isn't.
Don't you? The stage is yours.
Alright, so this man called Roche Theriault, I think. He's a Canadian dude, so it's kind of like...
Theriault.
French name.
Yeah, it could be a
French name. Yeah. He had this cult called the Anthill Kids. It was in Canada. And he was running the cult from 1977, so like we're back in the 70s, up until 1989. So...
My birthday.
Really? Okay, so like a little over 10 years. He held himself really a little over 10 years. So there were actually just a few members in this cult, but most of them, in fact 26 members, were kids. And there were like only 12 adults or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But were they the children of the adults or stray kids?
A lot of the kids were actually the leader's kid, the dude's kid, because he
Okay.
had like wives, he had concubines.
Okay.
So he just like had kids with like all of them, I suppose.
Okay.
And so that's why there's like this disproportionate amount of children in his cult and so little adults, which is really alarming in the first place. So the Anthill Kids, they basically came together when Roche was kicked out of another group.
It sounds like Mormon style.
He was kicked out of the Seventh-day Adventists. I'm not quite sure what they do, but I've heard of it before. Have you?
No.
Anyway, he was in another group. He got kicked out. I'm not quite sure why he got kicked out. Maybe the beliefs didn't align anymore. Maybe he was acting out of order. So...
He went batshit crazy.
He did. He definitely did. So before his exclusion of that group, he managed to make a lot of people follow him. And he used to organize like seminars for addicts, like alcohol addicts, people who were trying to quit smoking.
Yeah, to give something to again. To give,
Yes.
To give to the people
something they really want. And
Yeah.
that was like sobriety. They wanted to be sober, so he was like organizing
I mean, you
these
can
seminars.
go to a counselor, you can go to a future cult leader.
Yeah, like
It's
a
up to
crazy
you.
person.
Hashtag choices.
Anyway, these people, though, because they were used to him already from
Yeah.
the other group, they believed in him and they even gave up their jobs, they gave up their families, so they could all live together on his demand in the wilderness. That's so fucked up.
The Canadian wilderness.
In the Canadian wilderness, exactly. And I have another quote from an article, something that I could
Hit
not summarize for
Hit
the life
me.
of me. So it says,
Excited.
though he failed to predict the end of the world in 1979, he was so sure that the world would end, but it didn't. Roche successfully became a sadistic cult leader, demanding absolute loyalty and punishing naysayers and doubters. You couldn't even ask questions in his cult, basically. You ask questions, you have doubts, you're out of there. You get tortured, probably. He nailed children to trees, made his followers eat their own feces.
Okay.
And when angered, he'd strip them down and bat them, pluck their hairs out one by one, and many other forms of abuse.
Nailed it.
He also refused to take anyone to the doctor.
Yeah, of
Instead,
course. Because probably they don't have like health insurance.
of course not. They're in the wilderness. Like there's nothing. Instead, performing surgeries himself without anesthesia,
Like the good ancient time.
which resulted in one woman's death from pulling out her intestines.
Shit.
Yes. He also
And he was like,
killed...
what should I do with these? I mean, you have
Quite
to...
possibly.
Yeah, no, but things like you have to put the organs and all those things.
I'm
Like,
wondering
in
why the
order. You have to put them on
fuck
order
they
again.
took it out.
So a person will die. Yeah.
But I understand what you mean.
It sounds a bit like Warren Jeffs, but Warren Jeffs was more fundamental and Christian and more organized.
The thing is, I don't even know what the hell his belief is. I just know, like,
He probably
is similar.
Yeah, but Warren Jeffs, he called himself like the leader of a church, of a Mormon church.
Yeah, he didn't call his a church, though. It was, like, such a small group. He was, like, excluding everybody from society. So it was even easier to keep them all together because they were so far away, you know?
I mean, was it planned or wasn't it?
Definitely
intentional?
planned. Definitely planned. He asked the members to give up their jobs, give up their families, to come with him, to go away with him.
I'm gonna look him up now.
I'll keep on reading. He also killed a child during a failed circumcision, and one more died after being left outside during a blizzard as a punishment.
Oh!
A blizzard, guy.
Okay, this guy looks freaky and creepy as hell.
Yes.
Like,
does.
he looks like he would live in the woods.
And he did, yeah. He looks real fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what the fuck kind of punishment is that? Stay outside in a blizzard. You did something bad. Oh, Dad. Okay.
It builds character.
It builds character as a dead child.
Yeah.
So much
It
character.
builds character.
Oh, it's so sad though. It's really, really sad. So he would like...
It's a measurement. It's punishment. You will learn from it.
No.
You will learn from it.
Scary. Oh no, it's so scary. So he...
I'll punish you to help you. I'm
That's
not
what
mad, just disappointed.
Oh my god, I bet he said
Parents.
that. I bet he said that.
I'm not mad, just disappointed.
I just want to help you out, you know? You gotta learn from this.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn from it. You will learn from it, my child.
Dead. But now, to the end of the cult. In 1989, a member of the cult managed to run away, finally. Someone got away. And this man himself...
Did he track them?
I suppose maybe they were so far away in the wild, it was complicated to run away,
This
maybe.
is such super Saw movie shit.
It's scary.
going on.
It's seriously scary.
Like Hostel in the Woods.
Yes.
Like Cabin in the Hostel Woods.
Far away. I mean, would you dare to run away if it was that dangerous outside? And so far away from
Yeah,
society?
but the thing is, like, probably he told them it's super fucking dangerous. Don't go
Definitely,
outside.
definitely.
Don't do it. There are bears.
You will die out there when you go. Yeah.
Yeah, probably, but maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe that like she had to run like for 20 minutes and there's like the next road.
Oh my gosh,
But
like...
never knew.
Like
but
the
you never
village.
knew. Like the village, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the village. One of the worst movies ever.
Oh.
Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan.
Thank you.
Last Airbender. Rest in peace.
Anyway, so he ran away. He actually contacted the authorities and he basically snitched on the cult leader. He said, like, he told them everything that was happening. So the authorities caught the cult leader, but it wasn't until 4 years later, actually in the 90s.
1990s. 1993.
Exactly, that he was sentenced for life in prison because the authorities could finally...
Did he die in prison?
There was evidence.
Did he die in prison?
Wait, it has a
He
good
died in
ending.
prison.
It's a good ending.
Okay. It has a happy ending.
Look, he was in
He died
prison because he was sentenced to life for murder, and in 2011 he got killed by his cellmate.
Honestly, a guy who looked like that, you know, I probably wouldn't stand him and
Yeah.
would kill him too. Like, yo, dude, you're annoying.
But he lived a long time.
Yes, of course he lived a long
He
time.
lived, like, the horrible people
Maybe
live a long time.
I mean, do you know, maybe, I don't know,
What?
I never heard of this, but do you know, maybe he operated inside of prison? Like Warren just does. He still operates from it, or prison.
I don't think he did, but I mean, people say that the anthill kits still exist to this day, but it's nothing sure. Like, it's not sure. We don't
Maybe
know.
operates from inside the prison, like Warren Jeffs.
Like, maybe he did, but I don't know if he could. And I mean, he's dead now, so he can't do anything anymore.
What is?
But like, what the fuck kind of mentality is that he like operated on his own members? Like, that's like a whole nother level of torture.
I mean, when you attempt to go to med school.
Oh my god, cook my dimajaya. Alright, so I googled the anthill kids because I actually wanted to know what they believed in, because for Majaya we figured that out. It was like Jesus, it was like Hindu deities, it was like harmony, it was peace, it was love, it was kindness, it was compassion.
Amen.
Yes, and molesting children, obviously. But, so I wanted to know that for the anthill kids, and I pulled up the Wikipedia page on it. And that said...
They probably believed in spaghetti monster.
Oh, so the people listened to his motivational speeches. Live in unity and equality and free of sin.
So a life coach today can actually become cult leader.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. But hey, wasn't this 1970s? All was free.
Yes,
All in.
that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
And then he tried to tell the people that the end of the world was coming, you know? So he probably tried to tie even more people around him by, like, making them afraid, making them scared, I suppose.
Scare tactics.
You know, like,
Tough love.
if you come to my cult, you're gonna be, like, such a pure and good person. Like, when the day comes that the world ends, you're good to go.
It calls love bombing, actually.
Really?
And, yeah, and some cults, like when they actually recruit people,
Yeah.
and they actually love bomb you.
Damn.
Yeah. They give you so much love and affection and attention.
But that's what
and you'd
works.
be like, hey, I'm
Yes.
in. Pew, pew, pew. Where can I sign up?
Exactly. Oh, the people here are so nice. They listen to me. I'm
Exactly.
important to
and
them.
that's like, for example, in the Buddha field.
That's what it was like that too.
Ours was like too. I mean, they didn't actually go outside and be like, hey, come to us. I love you. I sleep with you. Now you're a cult member. That wasn't the case, and it's still not the case. Actually, like, people were saying, hey, I'm in this group. Because they never considered themselves as a cult.
No, never.
That's the thing.
Never.
They never considered themselves as a cult. So the people are like, hey, I'm in this yoga group. We actually are a community. We live together. Why don't you come over and check us out?
Yes.
And join us if you want to. You don't have to pay, but maybe. And then like 20 years later.
You paid your life.
You paid your life. Or you pay.
Or you pay, yes.
You
mean,
pay.
if you look at Scientology,
example,
you pay your way up.
Yeah, for example, like in the Buddha field, like for therapy sessions.
You have to pay for that too.
Yes.
Did he keep doing those therapy sessions like
Yeah,
later
of
on
course.
too? Oh my god, such a bitch.
He's still, I mean, the cult is still running. He's still operating. He's
Andreas. Still out there. Oh my gosh.
Michelle. Yeah, he's still out there.
Michelle is still out there.
Right now, I mean, the documentary was actually published. Released in 2016.
That's
and
recent.
Back then, yeah, that's recent. And back then, they actually he lived with the cult members,
yes.
like new or old, in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
It's beautiful.
Of course it is, but like now I have a reason not to go to Hawaii.
Oh, I really want to go to Hawaii. I always watch, like lately, I watch documentaries about Hawaii. I really want to go. Do you have money?
I don't. I wish.
Thank you. But we
oh my
actually,
gosh.
like, but I was thinking about the whole time now, like patterns of a cult.
Yes. Yes.
Because maybe I want to create my own cult. Maybe you want to be my member.
How to do cult for dummies.
I should write this. And there's like a checklist. I found something on the good old internet, interwebs. And for example, the first point is like, number 1, the group displays excessively and unquestioning commitment to its leader.
Yes.
True.
Check, yeah.
True. Especially like Scientologists. They're fucking committed. They're super brainwashed. That's the whole point. Like, most people are very brainwashed.
Yes.
Because they're all not just brainwashed, but they like grew up. They were born in such
even that,
communities.
yes, like you grew up in that. And maybe some people don't know, like for Scientology you have to pay for classes, and sometimes when you have made all classes already, they say like, oh, something got renewed, you have to do that class again.
Like Dianetics.
Yes, you have to do it again, so you got to pay again. That's so horrible.
Yeah, for example, what I think it's very interesting is the group teaches or implies that it's supposed that it's exalted and justify whatever means it deems necessary. This may result in members participating in behaviors, activities they would have considered wrong or unethical.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
that happens. Yeah, that happens so much. Yes.
Or the group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. The group is
Always.
preoccupied with making money.
Always.
Members are expected to devote amounts or inordinate amounts of time to the group and group-related activities. You know, to keep you in it. Of course, it's so. Yeah, that's why so many cults are living or lived in a huge community.
To fund themselves.
Of course, but to actually keep together, so that a cult leader can actually control.
Of course,
the community, like children of God. I mean, I wouldn't say Scientology, because Scientologists they live around the world, the globe. They're here and there.
Yes,
but for example, Buddha field, or the branch Davidians. Yeah, they were living on a farm, you know.
What I wonder though, when I look at the anthill kids, like he was not making any money. They were like out there in the woods, maybe far away. I don't know.
Like, it looked like a Sasquatch.
That's so. Maybe he's just like especially fucked up. It's not even about making money. It's about like having enough people that he can fuck with.
Maybe it's fucking. Oh, he was, because he was cut in prison. That thing is like. Those people, I don't want to say those people have something, that there's something wrong with those people, but they have like tendencies to be more radical, savage. As Logan Palmer would say, they are more like more savage than other people. But yeah.
Yes.
But what I think is always very interesting when former cult members come forward and doing documentaries or talking about the cults, actually. I think it's very, very interesting.
Interesting and important, but also, I can imagine, very, very scary.
Because some cults, especially cults that are being consider themselves as a religion.
Yes.
As churches, you know.
Mm.
They don't pay fucking taxes.
Oh my gosh. That's so upsetting.
Exactly, and so when former members come forward and speak out, then of course the government is like, oh, we did something wrong.
Such idiots. Like, I wonder what the fuck America was thinking with Scientology, for instance.
I mean, now
what the fuck?
But actually, I think now they reconsider actually their statutes.
Yeah, they're reconsidering, but like, what now? What are you gonna do?
Mr. David Miscavige is still fucking rich, and he's still a fucking abusive cult leader that world has ever
Who killed his wife, maybe?
Yeah, I think he should. I think he did. But this is actually another topic. We will talk about Scientology in another video, of course. And David Miscavige is... Yeah.
It would definitely come up.
He's Clark Kent, seriously. He's Batman in our... He's Batman in the pod, yes.
Ugh.
He will take the center stage.
Probably.
He's super creepy. He's super, super creepy. We will talk about him very, very intensely because he's a very creepy man.
You know what really upsets me? You know,
he's fucking abusive. He abuses his own member. What does it say?
It's like, it's a chain of abuse, you know? Like, there's like the leader at the top, he abuses the other ones, and then there are like other leaders, mini leaders, they abuse the other ones, and they abuse the other ones, and it goes down the ladder, everybody gets just abused by everybody.
And he's like, okay.
Works my way.
Yeah, okay. So this week we learned that everyone actually could create a cult if they want to, because because when you Google like how to establish a cult or patterns of cult, they're actually like checklists you can actually follow.
It's because there are so many cults. It's so easy to find a pattern.
Yeah, just call yourself the new Messiah, and there are probably people who'll be like, okay. Yeah, seriously, we don't want to tell you to start a cult. That's not the whole point.
Of course not.
Yeah, but we want to warn you.
Yeah, we want to warn you, and maybe you can tell us about other cults that we have not talked about here. Maybe cults that almost nobody knows about, because cults don't have to be big.
Or American.
Or American, for that matter. Like cults, groups of people in other countries maybe. Because what we talked about was like American. For the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part, American. The family was from Australia.
Yeah.
Australian.
So maybe you have a specific cult in your country.
That's
maybe
true,
you joined a cult and now you want to come forward.
Imagine.
We give you the platform. But whatever.
Yes. From the 10 people who watch us, someone was in a cult. Oh my god. Okay. This is it for this episode, though.
Exactly.
It was really fun to talk about this, even though it was really disturbing at the same time.
Nah.
Yeah, it was.
It was okay. Softcore. It was softcore.
It was softcore, that's true. But next time, we'll see what we'll talk about next time. I think that will be a surprise. Yeah. We're not gonna tell them.
Yeah, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah, you gotta come back next week and then see what we're gonna talk about next if you wanna know.
Until then, stay spooky.
Super spooky, please. Bye.